On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, more big fluke over 14 pounds landed in Jamaica Bay, the latest beach access due to the piping plover, how you can check out the latest fishing gear at ICAST 2020, and the tuna bite continues, all here at thefisherman.com. The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners. The weekly digital edition is available now to you Fisherman subscribers. Nick Hanovchesky has some great party boat tips, and Captain Anthony Gatto shares his knowledge on spooling up for big game. Remember, the digital edition is available on Mondays by 2 p.m. Now, News 12 meteorologist Rich Von Olin has the weekend weather outlook.
All right, thanks, Tim. Hey, anglers, let's check the weekend forecast. Now, you know what? It's going to be great. We've got a really good-looking one this weekend. Things are really cooperating. Water temps way up now. Of course, we got 70s, even some spots there around Raritan Bay, pushing 80 degrees. Still some upper 60s on the east end. Look at this. Wave heights over the weekend. You want to go offshore, do some tuna, do some shark. The sound looks great. The 4 to 8s move away. 2 to 4s move away. Saturday will be an improving day. There'll be a little roll to start, but then really calming down. Look at the blue all over the ocean there, and the sound. So a nice glass ocean for later Saturday going through Sunday. Both days look pretty good. Maybe Sunday the slightly better day, but overall pretty decent. I don't see much rain early Saturday morning. There's a few showers there. The winds are light and variable throughout most of the day. A little south onshore breeze late in the afternoon Saturday. And then Sunday looks okay too. Light breeze, southwest, pretty good. Just a nice, comfortable weekend. Looks pretty decent. A little hot, but overall going to be in pretty good shape. Let's check the high tides. North Shore for the mid to late morning, South Shore early morning from Jones out to Montauk Point. So, hey, nice summer weekend coming up. Nice calm conditions in the ocean. Enjoy the fishing. Be safe. Good luck. Tim, back to you.
Remember, be sure to check out News 12 for the latest weather before heading out on the water. Now let's check in with Fisherman Senior Editor Fred Galifaro.
Hi, Tim. And normally this time of the year we'd be down in Orlando at the ICAST show. Of course, it's not happening this year due to the pandemic, but they are holding a virtual ICAST show. We've been a large part of that. And this year, for the first time, the public can join in. You can go in and you can check out a lot of new products coming out for the end of this year and also for 2021. All you have to do is go to icastfishing.org. That's ICASTFISHING.org. Once you get in there, just click on Enter Now and it'll bring you into the site, and you can visit exhibitors' booths. You can check out the new product showcase and get a head start on what's coming out for the year ahead. Fishing-wise, fluke fishing in the bays is still number one. The weekend was tough. We had a lot of rough seas, but the bay fishing obviously was very doable. And we've got the third fish over 14 pounds coming out of Jamaica Bay on the weekend. It was caught on Saturday by Michael Farrel. It weighed 15.6 pounds. That's some slab of fluke. So some very nice fish coming out of the bays. Not all that big, but I'm hearing like from Great South Bay, the West End bays, Shinnecock and Moriches, fair number of 5 to 7 pound fish coming out of those areas. So the bay fishing for fluke right now is the way to go. For you surfcasters, some good news on the access front. Democrat Point was reopened on Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock. It had been closed due to a pipe and plover nest. The chicks have fledged. They moved out of the area and we're good to go on the beach. Remember, this time of the year you have to be on before 7 and you can get on again after 5. Tim, back to you.
The Coastal Kayak Clash is going on now. Fish from your kayak, take a photo of your catch, and rack up points to win this Old Town Sportsman Autopilot kayak valued at over $4,000. You just need to be a subscriber to The Fisherman to compete. Stay tuned to the end of the video for details on the prizes that you could win with New England editor Toby Lipinski. With our offshore report, let's check in with Captain Tony Gatto.
Thanks, Tim. Things have appeared to slow down this week at the canyons. As we roll into various tournaments, I think it's more of captains being tight-lipped than anything else. Mahi-mahi have showed up on cue and in force. The pots by Maiden Creek, Little Tails, and the Chicken Canyon have all been very productive. White marlin have also been reported in the same areas. Keep in mind that this means the wahoo should be around too. Taking a peek at sea surface temperatures from Terrafin shows that the eddy that has been producing big eyes has pushed off the edge well south. Probably why the canyons haven't been so hot. You need to go a lot deeper. There is also some cooler water off Montauk by the Butterfish Hole and Ryan and Jenny's Horns. Like Trevor Beerwick pictured here, you will find threshers and bluefin a lot closer to the point this week. Back to you, Tim.
Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters has this report.
Hello, Tim. Well, here we are on the River Bay Outfitters annual smallmouth bass trip up on the beautiful Housatonic in Connecticut. It was a great trip. I mean, a lot of fish were caught, a lot of big fish. Everybody had a terrific time. The best part about all this is you wet wade, and it is only about a 2.5 hour ride from Long Island. It is terrific for a time. Now, talking of the saltwater scene down Long Island, talking to a good friend of mine, Captain Andrew Durr. He was out fishing with a couple that came into my shop that I highly recommended him. He did very well. They had a terrific time. All they were smiles. Talking to a good friend of mine, Captain Tim O'Rourke. He's been doing well out in Montauk. Now, as far as striper fly fishing, you really have to think about fishing at night. Meet up around 11, 12, fish the night tides. It just was this is this time of year. As far as freshwater scene, a lot of fish in the parks, the Connie, the Nessaquak, a lot of fish, a lot of good times. But so get out while you can. This is summer and I enjoy it so much. So if you need any advice on where to go, give me a shout out at the shop. So until next week, tight lines, everybody.
From the North Fork, we have Sebastian Head.
Thanks, Tim. The fishing up here in the North Fork is settling down into summer mode. There's a lot of porgies in their usual holes, plenty of cocktail bluefish in the bays. Over on the sound side, the night bite for striped bass is not bad, and the fluking is finally improving. I picked up this 7-pound fluke last week on squid and spearing, although people have also been jigging them. Along mixed in with the fluke, there's plenty of sea bass, becoming more and more so as the years go on. There's also blowfish, northern kingfish, all of the usual suspects for an awesome summer. So tight lines, everybody, and have a great time out there.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, everybody. Hitting a little bit of the summer doldrums in between Shinnecock and Moriches, along with some not so great weather over the weekend with the wind and the storm surge. However, there has been, some legit fishing. There's still small bass off the beach, mostly on bait clam bellies. Hopefully everyone's using their circle hooks. There's also some nice skinny water fluke fishing in Shinnecock, a little bit closer to the inlet, as all the baits moving in and out. The tuna bite and fluke and sea bass off the wrecks and reefs, really haven't heard any reports just because hardly anybody got out over the weekend. But the sea bass, I'm sure, is still there, so enjoy those while you can get at them. The tuna bite, it still seems like when people are able to get out, it is still a bit south of Quambra, a little more search around, but as reported last week as well, the fish do seem to be a little bit bigger. So still some nice bass around the area on the bunker pods, and the usual spots out in the ocean where you can get out there. However, the fishing out of Montauk, it seems like all the bass are there. Had an awesome trip on Grand Slam charters last week. 5 of us had 8 fish to 40 pounds. If you do have a chance to get out there and do a trip, it's well worth it with the fishing that's going on out there. If you're local, get out there this weekend. There's plenty of fish to catch, so have fun and enjoy. Take care. Until next week. Back to you, Tim.
Brendan Ritigliano of Capture Bait and Tackle just missed last week's deadline with this impressive fluke, weighing in at 11.96 pounds, caught with a Spro bucktail by his customer, James. Joe Ben Savenga jumped aboard a party boat out of Capri and caught these 2 nice keeper fluke. Let's check in now with Captain Al Lorenzetti of the Great South Bay and Fire Island area.
Hey Tim, Fire Island report. Kind of limited reports because of some stormy weather that blew in on Monday. Some good fluke fishing still, and some big fish have showed up. I heard an 11-pound and change was weighed in, a 9-pound, all out of Fire Island. So fluke fishing's good. There's still a great tuna bite. Patty Inn Charters, they had 6 tuna up to 200 pounds just before the storm came in on Monday. I guess they fished over the weekend sometime, Saturday or Sunday. So tuna fish, fluke, bottom fishing's also great. Week fishing getting a little spotty, but they're around too. That's about it for this week, Tim. Take care.
Boating has become more popular during these trying times, and Kale's Family Boating Center is ready to get you out on the water. Check out a Sea Pro powered by Suzuki. Low rates make it the perfect time to buy. Visit kalesfamilyboating.com for more information. Let's get the latest from Jones Beach with Matt Bauer from Jones Beach Tackle.
I'm happy to announce that the shop will be opening up this Friday and will be stocked with everything that you'll need. After the storm last week, the fishing slowed down for a little bit due to muddier water, but the water clarity is getting back to normal now and the fishing's picking up along with it. There's been plenty of bait in the water, mostly smaller spearing, and there's been plenty of fish seen on them. The smaller snappers have been showing up in the 4 to 5 inch range, but they're only getting bigger every single day. Remember, even snapper size, you can only keep 3 snappers, 3 bluefish of any size, so that includes snappers. There's also been Spanish mackerel on the smaller spearing. You can use small tins to catch them. Also, on my YouTube channel, iFishLI, you can check a video out of me catching some Spanish mackerel that I just posted recently. Also, fluke fishing has been pretty solid. Mostly short fish, but it's been a pretty consistent bite. There are some keepers around though. Also, cocktail blues still in the inlet, and schoolie bass can be seen tight to shore on the days when the water's more clear, feeding on sand fleas, stuff like that. So, hope to see you guys down at the shop. Thanks, Tim. Back to you.
Chris Ludwig is always doing something interesting, so let's see what he's been up to.
Hey, thanks, Tim. What's going on, guys? So this last week, I got out in the open beach about 2 times. Unfortunately, that was it. But we were throwing big baits, looking for big fish in the surf, some sort of giants, whatever they may be, throwing extra hard mono and big circle hooks. We were throwing like half of a bunker. I like the tail end of it. It just seems to get hit a lot. And we hooked up on a big fish Sunday night. We think it was a big sand tiger, but it threw the hook about a minute or so into it. And earlier last week, I had a couple hits that were pretty interesting. The rod bent over and instantaneously it broke off. And it happened a couple times. I think that it may have been a school of sharks coming down the beach and they bumped into the braid. They weren't able to back up on it. It wasn't anything other than a quick bend and boom. So I adjusted the leader material and I'm out here tonight. We're going to see what goes on. I hope to see you all out here and take care.
Joey Leggio reports that the Atlantic Beach Reef is full of porgies and sea bass, like this one Nicole caught while jigging aboard Ralph D's boat of Chasing Tales TV. From Staten Island, we have Captain Mike Sentry.
This week's video report has been slow due to the storms and rough seas, but Captain Guy Buno has been switching between fluke, bass, blues, and putting folks on thresher sharks using bunker. Tom Crespo has been catching keeper flukes using the M3 tactical spoon, and Rob Marchese has been putting in the time in the Raritan Bay, weeding out the smaller fluke and finding a couple keepers. Well, with this said, folks, nothing spectacular offshore, and the fluke remains tough. I suggest folks target deeper water in the midday and hit the shallows early and towards the evening for fluke. Well, with that said, guys, tight lines, Captain Mike Sentry.
Steigercraft builds boats by the same people that fish our waters. That's why serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you. From Huntington Harbor, we have Gage Simon.
Thanks, Tim. We had another solid week of fishing here on the North Shore with porgies, weakfish, black sea bass, cocktail blues, fluke, sea robins, spiny dogfish, mackerel, and anchovies are all in the mix. I headed out with Captain Joe and Jed Thursday evening before the tropical storm. We trolled sunset despite the tide, and once we arrived to our spot, we sat on the hook until midnight, marking tons of bait and some nice fish. But it seems like the Sound is under attack with the arrival of spiny dogfish just in time for Shark Week. Guys that are catching keeper bass are trolling the right tide and live lining bunks and using mackerel for bait. Some really nice sized weakfish are still coming over the rails, and the porgy bite is still decent, but you may have to bounce around to catch the limit. Nick Fabrizio put his nephew TJ Fabrizio on his first black sea bass and his first fish, along with a few keepers, at Great Reef Buoy 28, just east of Bud Reef. Captain Joe had a solid afternoon of fluking with the Mancy brothers, landing 15 fish, taking home a 19 and a 19.5-inch fluke for dinner. But this week's Fish of a Lifetime award goes to brothers James and Joel Sebesta when they landed this absolute doormat aboard Rochinante with Captain Ed Harnish, who said it was his first keeper fluke of the season, and what a keeper it was. Weighed in at Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle at a respectable 11.5 pounds, measuring 30 inches. Congrats to Captain and crew for landing this doormat. Hopefully the Gator Blues will start chasing bait and will be running and gunning following the birds. Right now, a healthy amount of cocktail blues are being caught here on the North Shore. Remember to stay safe out there. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water.
From the north side of the island, Hawaiian Dan tells me he's sorry he couldn't give us a report, but he said the fish are there. Get off those couches, grab those rods, and get out there and safely catch and release those bass. If you'd like to be part of our weekly video fishing forecast, we're looking for social media savvy anglers for hyperlocal reporting from around the New York Metro and Long Island area. So if you're a captain, tackle shop, or just an avid angler, contact me at libayrat@gmail.com. And remember, like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be instantly notified when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Kayak Clash contest. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and more information. And please support our correspondents by visiting their website and social media pages. Here's Toby Lipinski with all the prize details on the Coastal Kayak Clash. See you next week right here at thefisherman.com.
As I'm sure you're already well aware, we have a brand new fishing tournament here for subscribers of the Fisherman magazine. It's the Coastal Kayak Clash, and I'm going to go over the prize structure, what you have up for grabs this year. So first up, grand prize is going to be a brand new Old Town Autopilot 136. It's the flagship of the all-new Sportsman series. The Autopilot includes a fully integrated GPS-enabled Minn Kota 45-pound thrust trolling motor, and the kayak will also be equipped with an FL Troll lighting kit from our friends at Yak Lights to ensure that you can see and be seen on that next kayak angling adventure. Now, your retail value, we've got $39.99 on the kayak and $349 on the lighting, so first place is roughly a $4,500 package. Then second place, we got an awesome kayak trailer package from the guys over at Malone Auto Racks, which includes an extra light Lomax trailer along with 2 sets of bunks, beach hauler soft terrain heavy duty boat cart, and a striper 4-rod carrier. This is the perfect setup to get you to the shore and out on the water for your next kayak outing. We got a total value on this of $1,988. And then third place, coming in from our buddies at Humminbird, we got a brand new Helix 9 Chirp Mega SI Plus GPS G3N Fish Finder. This bad boy's got a 9-inch display, Mega Side Imaging Plus, Mega Down Imaging Plus, and a dual spectrum Chirp sonar. It includes GPS mapping, built-in Bluetooth, and so on. It's the same unit that I've got on my kayak, and it is awesome. You will not be disappointed. It comes with a retail value of $14.99. Once you get past first place, second place, and third place, we also got special prize categories. We got the largest of species. And now, there's not just one species available here at this year's Coastal Kayak Clash. We have 8 divisions, which include the 9 of the most popular, sought-after inshore species in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, including weakfish, porgies, fluke, sea robin, bluefish, black sea bass, blackfish, and a combo hardtail category, which includes both false albacore and bonita, which are just starting to show up and be caught. So the entry with the longest length fish in each of these species will win a rod and reel combo. You got a Penn Clash 2 spinning reel and a matching Fenwick HMG inshore spinning rod. Now that reel retails at the 4,000 size, retail value of $219, and the rod is a 7-foot spinning rod, comes in at $99, so it's a $319 package. And then we got the fish of the month. So the Coastal Kayak Clash spans 214 days, and each of the 7 months of the tournament has a designated fish species, with May kicked off with a pair of species in which we award a special Fish of the Month prize. Basically, the biggest fish of that designated month species wins the prize, which is a $100 gift certificate to be redeemed at yakattack.com. And the categories back in May, it was weak fish and porgies. In June, we had fluke. Right now in July, we got black sea bass. August is the fan favorite sea robin. September's hardtails. That's the combo false albacore and bonita. October is going to be bluefish, and then we close things out in November with our buddies the blackfish. So, of course, be sure to head on over to thefisherman.com right now to get all the complete rules and details on the tournament. Of course, if you're not currently a subscriber, you can take care of that as well, and then you will be completely eligible for the tournament, no additional fee. So, essentially, for the $29.95 yearly subscription to the Fisherman magazine or the $20 digital subscription, all you got to do from there is sign in, register your account, and you are good to go and get on your way to winning one of those awesome prizes.